We just got multiple major updates for the Los Angeles Lakers that will have serious implications not only on the short term, but the long-term outlook for the Lakers as they find themselves currently on a 3-game losing streak. And this news might hurt them a little bit short term, but ultimately might help them in the long term. And we're going to break down these reports today, what we're hearing, as well as the effects it will have on the Lakers roster and the Lakers outlook for the rest of the season. And welcome to Lakers Digest here, guys. My name is Hunter Pitcoff, and we cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. If you are new to the channel, what's going on? Thanks for listening. If it's your first time, second, third, you've been here since day one, we appreciate you all. But we do have a goal in mind here. We got big plans cooking up for 2025. We hit 4,000 subscribers right before the ball dropped on New Year's Eve, and we want to kick off the new year, 2025, on the right foot and reach 5,000 subscribers before the end of January, before the end of the first month here of the new year, and we are getting there. We are about 290 of you guys away from reaching that goal, and it's not just a personal goal of ours. I want this to be a goal for all of us as we continue to grow this community here. For those who want to support the Los Angeles Lakers and support this channel, we appreciate it. Any goal we have here, anything we accomplish here is because of you guys. But I don't want to leave you starved for content here. So let's talk about the first report that we have going on here. And the Lakers likely without their brand new addition. That is none other than Dorian Finney-Smith, as the injury report came out today for this upcoming game against the Miami Heat. And we see here that Bronny, who probably won't play anyway, listed as questionable with an illness. Jalen Hood-Schifino still has not played. We know that Jared Vanderbilt and Christian Wood, while Vando getting closer to returning, we don't really have an update on Wood. Both of them will not be back, at least for this game. AD, LeBron, they've been dealing with these injuries all season long, but they're probable. But the main one here is Dorian Finney-Smith. Due to a personal reason, is listed as doubtful for this game against the Miami Heat, which is Wednesday night here, 7 p.m. Pacific time. If you're an East Coast guy like me, or if you're watching this and you want to learn more about the Lakers, if you're a Miami Heat fan, it's going to be 10 p.m. East Coast time. So, basically, we don't know exactly what Dorian Finney-Smith is going through right now, so we're not going to speculate. I hope everything's good. Take the time you need, DFS, to, get whatever you need to get in order, and we will be ready to bring you back onto the basketball court when you are ready to come back. So, again, we don't know what he is going through right now, and I don't know necessarily how long he will be out. Perhaps JJ Redick will give us some sort of update on that, but if he's listed as doubtful, guys, I'm going to be under the assumption, and maybe at the time of this recording comes out, perhaps we already have an update on this, but I'm going to be under the assumption, based on this report, brought to you by the Lakers, that Dorian Finney-Smith will not be in this upcoming game against the Miami Heat, and we don't know exactly when he'll be back for the Lakers. And just from a pure basketball standpoint, this is somebody who the Lakers brought in because of what he can do and elevate the games of others. And he's a connective player that makes the lives of the other four guys, his other four teammates on the court with him, easier. He can guard anybody pretty much under the sun to various extents and certain certain points of time, as well as be a player who can really shoot the ball, shooting well beyond 40% from three this year. Has always been a sniper in his career. The true textbook definition of a 3-and-D player. If there was an NBA, a basketball dictionary of what certain terminology was, and you looked up 3-and-D in that dictionary, a picture of Dorian Finney-Smith should show up, because that's exactly what he is. A very switchable, versatile defender that can guard pretty much any position on the court, at least in a pinch, especially with the way J.J. Redick plays his type of defense where he wants to switch a lot. Dorian Finney-Smith is that perfect player for that, but the Lakers might be without him, despite him just getting back to the team here. So that's update number one. Of course, not something we necessarily expected, so hopefully everything is good with Finney-Smith. Number two is a little bit more spicy. We're going to get into it right now here. LeBron James speaks out. Now, LeBron does not do a whole lot of media outside of anything he's interested in or anything he's obligated to do. So whether it's, talking to the press, just like every other player and every other coach has to do, he's going to do that. But he doesn't go very out of his way to do interviews or really speak out on things unless it's with his uninterrupted brand or something that he just has some sort of tie with. And that's going to be DraftKings here because he does have a tie with DraftKings. I don't know if he's has stock in it or they signed him. I'm not actually quite exactly sure, but we've seen the Kevin Hart commercials and stuff like that. But this is what LeBron James said on the Gojo and Golic show, which is Mike Golic Jr. and Mike Golic Sr., two pretty well-known broadcasters. Mike Golic Sr., most famously known for the Mike and Mike show with Greenberg there on ESPN, no longer with ESPN. His son also was with ESPN as well, had his own show. But now they're doing their own thing, son and pop. So it's a pretty cool thing that they got going on here. But this is what LeBron James said on the DraftKings sponsored show. They asked him a bunch of questions, but the main takeaway here was what they asked LeBron James was about if he thinks the Lakers have found identity at this point in the season. And this was about a day or so ago. So this was actually before the Spurs game. But maybe LeBron would have changed his tone. But this is what he said. He said, quote, "Yeah, I think so. Quote, I think our identity is, one, defensively, we want to bring physicality to the game, make teams try to do something that they do not like to do, and then offensively, we want to share the ball. We're very good when we're in the high 20s in assists. I feel we have so much more room to improve. We are not the team I believe we're going to be once February, March hit, but I do like our chances, and we got to continue to just put the work in, and that's all that matters." So, it's a lot to digest there. First off, LeBron James saying that he feels confident that the Los Angeles Lakers have an identity, which is kind of interesting because I can agree and disagree with that one a little bit. But again, I'm not in that locker room. I agree on the fact that being physical, I agree that's how the Lakers have to win because they're not a great perimeter shooting team, right? You can't be a team like the Boston Celtics that can chuck up a bunch of threes every single game and expect to consistently win like that. The Celtics have a team like that. The Lakers do not, right? They have some good shooters, but they're not all great shooters. And so, therefore, the Lakers need to be physical. They need to go downhill and attack the basket, get to the free throw line. This has been the Lakers' bread and butter as a team for quite some time. And when your best players have consistently been LeBron and Anthony Davis, this is how you're going to win, right? Your team takes on the attitude of your coach and your best players and your leaders, which is J.J. Redick, the head coach, and LeBron AD as your best players. So he is not wrong there in that sense that is how the Lakers need to play. And defensively, that physicality also needs to translate. It's not just AD defending the paint, defending the rim. It's got to be players on the perimeter as well, which I actually think that is where they struggle a lot. I think this is a team that is not physical enough on the perimeter. Getting a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith will help that. It's definitely a massive upgrade on the defensive end compared to what D'Angelo Russell does. But at the same time, this is also a Lakers team that still lacks some size, especially inside when AD's off the court. It gets concerning. Now, LeBron and AD are your athletes of this team. Even a guy like Dalton Knecht's a little athletic. But, someone like Austin Reaves, he gets picked on defensively. Max Christie has been a good defender, but he's not super big and physical kind of defender. Getting Jared Vanderbilt back, which hopefully is going to be soon, fingers crossed, that's definitely going to help that physicality standpoint. I think Rui's very physical offensively, although he's been really kind of being more used as a spot-up shooter, which I think J.J. Redick is going to have to figure out a way to make him really expand his game because I think it's hurting him just being trying to use him as a 3-and-D guy when that is not Rui Hachimura's game really at all. You got to let him pound the rock a little bit more. And maybe we'll make a video on that too, because I think that's something that J.J. Redick's actually kind of messed up with Rui so far this season. But I don't think they're a super physical team like LeBron is saying. Can they get there? Maybe. Being physical partly is just a mentality thing, and the Lakers' mentality has been very up and down. I call them the most unserious team in the NBA, guys, because we don't get the same effort from them every single night. So I don't necessarily think LeBron is right there, but what I will say, though, is what he said, the second part of what he had to say here, which he said, quote, "I feel we have so much more room to improve. We are not the team I believe we're going to be once February, March hits." And that's a very interesting point. Now, what does he mean by that? Like, I'm thinking of the Drewski meme, like, what do you mean by that? I think he means two things. I think he means they're going to get better, which is true. Most teams typically get better. And if we've seen the Lakers they typically do get better once February hits, when the trade deadline happens. That's when the Lakers magically turn their season around. But what I also think he means, though, is that could there be moves? Is that how they're going to get better? Are they going to make a trade? And you guys some of you guys always come back for the trade videos, and we try to put as much different scenarios out there possible, just to, go through each scenario of all the players that the Lakers could be targeting, because there's always 5 million of them that are rumored to the Lakers every single season. Trust me, we're not blind to this either. But what I will say, though, is that LeBron is a very smart guy, and he's very good with the way he illustrates certain messages through what he says and when he says it. And I think this was his way, perhaps, of not calling out the front office, but kind of talking to the front office without talking to the front office and saying, we can get better if you guys bring the players that they need to succeed. And perhaps that's what LeBron is signaling towards. And that's why we make these videos, guys, to show you all maybe some of these players, who they can target, who they can not. Dorian Finney-Smith, they already made their first move to get him and Shake Milton, but perhaps there could be more in the books as well with LeBron's not-so-settled shot at the Lakers front office led by Rob Pelinka and them. But let's talk about the final point here, guys. Can the Lakers get their lick back versus the Miami Heat? Let's look at the short term here, where Dorian Finney-Smith most likely does not play in this one. This game, I forgot to look up the score before I started this video, but I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't really want to, because it was bad. I mean, it was maybe the Lakers' worst game of the entire season, and I know I just said that about the Spurs, but I even said that, and I was like, I don't know if it was their worst game, because this might have been their worst game against the Miami Heat, where they got absolutely manhandled from the opening tip against the Miami Heat in South Beach. So that was an absolute horrible game. It was probably the worst Laker game of the whole season, but they have a chance to get revenge against the Miami Heat. This is a team that has been having a lot of turmoil even of their own, with the whole Jimmy Butler fiasco going on. Is he getting traded? He's calling out the front office. He's calling out Pat Riley. He says he doesn't want to be there. He's not extending. And he's not going to be here because he was suspended for 7 games for his antics, I guess. So he won't be back until I think his suspension ends for the following game against the Nuggets. So the Lakers dodge a bullet there. No Jimmy Butler. But Tyler Hero, they cannot let him absolutely cook them again. He's had a phenomenal season. He's been by far and away the best player on the Miami Heat this year. You can never take Bam Adebayo lightly either. A really awesome basketball player on both ends of the court. Those are the two guys you got to slow down. You cannot let the Heat get hot, and you cannot let Tyler Hero single-handedly almost beat you again in the third quarter like he did in that game in Miami. At this point, maybe a handful of weeks ago, maybe a little bit more. But let me know down below in the comments, guys. Dorian Finney-Smith, how much are the Lakers going to miss him? I guess we'll find out his true value with the team if he does not play. And for LeBron as well, is he hinting at a bigger move or not? And like I said, guys, we do have a goal of reaching 5,000 subscribers. If you watch this far through the video and you're not subscribed, I think I might have earned it at that point. I don't know. I think we earned it here at Lakers Digest. We try to put out multiple videos every single day. It's not just me. It's my co-hosts, Akechi Apakama and Nick Goss as well, which are our absolute best to give you guys the ultimate 365 coverage of your Los Angeles Lakers day in and day out. We're going to bring our A game. We're going to bring our effort every single video. And what I ask is you guys to do the same with that support, because it just fuels the fire and really just helps us get excited, motivated to give you guys the content you want surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers.